Turo just paid for my car.
What did you say?
Hey, what's up? My name is Jared, and I own a few short-term rentals. I generate $30,000 a month. Started with $6,500. Literally grew it to $3.35 million in real estate within 2 years. It's kind of crazy. I'm super grateful for all of the blessings that have come from this. And I've been really interested in Turo, how to rent cars, maybe get a cool car because of it. But I've always been a little uneasy. I've been able to research Airbnb really well and understand it. And I have a great curriculum on how to teach that to you. But Turo's been different. Like, I just haven't been able to figure out quite the data of, is this a good idea or is this really foolish? I decided, I'll just try it out. I'll document every step. That way, if it is a good idea, you guys get to figure out all the steps of how I was able to accomplish a successful Turo business. And if it's a terrible idea, well, maybe this will just be enjoyable and at least an educational way for you to find out not to get on Turo. We'll find out. Number one, you gotta have a car. I mean, that's the place to start, right? And so there is a great resource on their website. Let's not say great. It's an okay resource. It only has a few cities. Then it has a national average, but it's their calculator. It's a car calculator. And you're able to look at like the top 10 cars that they have. And you're also able to type in maybe the car you have or a car you're thinking of buying. And it will give you the estimated payment for that car and the estimated revenue that that car will make within a year's time. It's always important to think annually when you're looking at a peer-to-peer sharing business, whether that's Airbnb or renting a car. And the reason why that is some months might be really bad. Like January is kind of known for just not being a great month. People just spent all their money on Christmas. They don't have a lot left over. You're probably not going to make much in January, but July, August, people are vacationing. They're out and about. They're going to be renting stuff. And so that's when you're probably going to make enough to offset your January and February. So what car should you use? I'm a big believer in using the cards in your hand. In this case, I already had a car that was under 130,000 miles, which is a qualification in order for your car to be on there. So I have a 2021 Mini convertible. It just seemed like a really good car to start with. But you might want to hop on Copart and figure out what is a good car for you to use in order to rent. If you don't have a lot of money and you have bad credit, maybe lend towards like a minivan or something cheaper like that families are going to use and have less maintenance. Or if you have some money to play with, try a cool car and just see what happens. I listed the car right away. I did not wait at all. I literally took pictures on my iPhone in a parking lot. I listed it right away. And I mean, people are probably going to disagree with me on this, but I think most people get so caught up in all the details. What do I need to buy? What do I need to have? Do I need to get all this stuff done? How do I get the car? Oh, yada, yada, yada. They just don't ever get anything done. And so I thought to myself, okay, if I list the car right away, I can block off a certain amount of dates, make it available, say 2 or 3 weeks. I now have 2 or 3 weeks to get this car ready. This forces me to stay on top of things and get it done. I read a book called Rework a few years ago, and I'll put a link in the description for that great book. It's basically about just not getting caught up in all the details and getting started and then adding what you need to scale. I just got the car listed. I'm glad I did that because I got a booking literally by day 2 that nearly covered my entire payment. Now, like I said, I just used iPhone pictures. They look terrible. And honestly, in my market, almost every car is an iPhone picture. However, knowing what I know about Airbnb and just marketing in general, using iPhone pictures are terrible. So I'm going to take over the Nashville market by having great pictures. Already scheduled my pictures. I'm going to pay a dude a couple $100 and get great pictures of my Mini Cooper. I'm also going to get pictures of my Telluride, and I'm going to start renting that on there as well because I already got a booking that nearly covered my payment. So I'm like, let me try the SUV. It's a nice, luxurious SUV. People are probably going to love it. We'll test it out and see if I can cancel out that car payment as well. However, I didn't wait for the super nice pictures. I wanted to get it started right away. Now that I have it listed and I know that my next reservation is in a couple weeks, I need to buy a few things. Here's what I bought. Number one, I bought a car wash subscription service. This will allow me to go straight to the car wash, have unlimited vacuums, and have unlimited floor mat cleaning, run the car through and have it clean super fast. I pay $20 a month. My car can be cleaned right before I go to my next reservation. Number two, buy cleaning supplies for the inside so it can smell good. And if they spill something, you can get that up really good because the vacuum at the car wash is not going to take care of that. Also, you want a portable vacuum that you can have on the fly because you might get there and you had it kind of dirty from your shoes or whatnot. And you could have that with you in a little satchel that you can just pull out, get it all clean, and then take it with you if you Uber back to your house like I plan to do or whatever your situation is once you drop off the car. So the next thing I bought is a signal block. My plan on how to check in the cars is I'm gonna put my smart keys in here, my keyless entries. It's gonna block the signal. I'm gonna put this in the car, under the seat or something like that. And then I'm going to lock the car from the app on my phone. If you have a newer car, this is probably possible for you. If not, you're gonna have to have a backup plan on how to get into your car. In this case, I bought this guy right here. Literally just stick it on the window and pop, open it up, your keys inside, and the guest can get in that way. This is great for older cars that are probably cheaper. I was not comfortable doing that, having $30,000 to $50,000 vehicles. I did not want them to shatter the window and take this. It just didn't feel safe. But on a car that's maybe in the 10 to 15,000 category, and depending on where you're blocking or dropping it off at an airport or something like that, you're probably safe to do something of this nature. This is definitely my plan when I scale, because I will offer cheaper cars if this one. Now let's rewind a little bit and talk about the listing itself. I used ChatGPT to draw up my listing information. It took me seconds. I just typed in the car, yada, 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 and it drew up this great description. It was a little too long, so I had them edited to make it shorter, and boom, I had it ready to go. Now, insurance. This is a big thing that scares a lot of people, but Turo actually has a really cool insurance program, and this is actually how you get paid. It's a lot different than renting short-term rentals like Airbnb and Vrbo. You pick the insurance plan, and that's based on the percentage that you get from the reservation itself. In this case, I went with 75, and the reason why is my deductible is only $250. They basically cover anything bad that happens to the vehicle. I only get 75% of the income, so Turo gets 25% of the income. I don't necessarily love that, but the risk is just not as bad, so I'm kind of okay with it. Now, if I'm making moolah, I'm definitely going to change that deductible to be higher. But my whole thing is I was doing the math, I'm like, man, if this car only makes $1,000 a month or something like that, I'm not sure that I want my deductible to be $750 or the higher one where it's like over $1,600 for the deductible. And so it really just depends on how much money is coming in from the car. Do your numbers annually to figure out, okay, if I make X amount of dollars every month for this vehicle and my deductible is this, if there's a car crash, how much money am I going to have to spend out of pocket? If I raise my deductible, how much money extra will I get, and will it offset that price? And is it worth it for me? If I'm making a ton of extra money, then it might be worth it for me to pay that higher deductible if something bad does happen. Now, the next thing I did is upsells. Upsell. I mean, this is so smart. So I got car seats, and I'm upselling them $15 a day. You can change the price. I would encourage you to get in, look at all the other cars, check out what they're all doing, and figure out, in my market, it seemed like $15 a day to rent a car seat was the average. So I got 2 car seats because I have 2 seats in the back that can fit those car seats, and that's one way that I am upselling. Now, this is just a little hint. Getting started, maybe consider using discounts. I decided to make it pretty affordable at first. I used the smart pricing option that they have, which is great because on the weekends, it makes it more expensive for people that are traveling for a concert or a special event. On the weekdays where there's not going to be as many people traveling, it makes it cheaper. I also started with a 10% discount if they book over 3 days, and I raised that discount if they book over 14 days to 30% off. And this was just one way I was able to get a 5-day booking starting off, which helped cancel out my car payment. However, my game plan is definitely to slowly raise my prices and to slowly decrease those discounts, which will help. There's also an early bird discount. There's various other things that you can do to discount to make your car maybe a little bit more attractive to that person, because you're not going to have any reviews starting off. So you're definitely going to want someone to give you a chance, and the best way to get a chance is by being the most affordable. However, you definitely don't want to stay cheap. If you stay cheap, you're going to get cheap guests, and those cheap guests are more than likely not going to take good care of your car. And so you want to raise those prices. You also don't want to lower the market value of renting a car in your area. And so if everyone is doing it cheap, then that's just going to be what it costs. If you have it more expensive and everyone has it more expensive, then people are just going to have to pay more, therefore you get more. And that's where I'm at starting off. I mean, I just started. I don't have professional pictures or anything. Car's just been listed for a couple days. I have 1 booking, and here we are. I'm definitely going to keep you updated, so subscribe to the channel so you can learn more, and thanks for being a part of this. Let's learn together. Also, if you're looking for some quick shorts, hop over to Instagram, TikTok, all those things, Jared BNB.